In this video, we'll break down the recent screenshots Rockstar released, even though people will claim that marketing for the game is dead. There's something here for everyone, and I don't plan to point out the obvious. I also won't be covering the screenshots of faces or fashion, as that just isn't my personal interest, but I can say they look absolutely incredible, and later on we will cover the mistake I made in the last video. Now let's start with this shot of a deviant at Wyman's. Now I brought this idea to the GTA 6 mapping Discord and it was ruled out as inconclusive. I agree with this, but let me explain. I am technically a mapper over at the GTA 6 mapping Discord, but I have only made one discovery about the Lowe's Hotel in Miami that in return allowed my name to be added to the list. Pretty cool, right? So I try to kick back and let the true professionals over there do their magic, so I don't really contest with their want for evidence. Now we know the shot is at Wyman's because if we look at this shot we got from the pre-orders, it shows Wyman in front of his garage. On the left-hand side is the deviant. This shot is just looking at the detail of the car parked at the same place. So looking at the reflection of the hood, and Rockstar loves giving us mapping clues and reflections, you can see the Orlando train station quite clearly. This would put Wyman's shop on the south side of Lake Leonida. The night panoramic shot of Ambrosia from the postcard shots show the Orlando train station on the left-hand side. That would put the location of Wyman's garage right about here. I would love to know what you think of this theory in the comments below. Now let's correct the mistake I made in the last video. On this screenshot of the Shamal landing at Vice City International, I called these little points on the wing backup pitot tubes. This isn't the case, as I researched further and others had mentioned in the comments these are indeed vortilons. Also, it was noted that the flat appendage on the tail is indeed a VOR localizer antenna. If you want to see the video where I went into detail about aviation in GTA 6, it will be linked in the description below. Moving on, we have the opening pre-order shot of Jason and Lucia in the exact same pose we have seen them on the art shots. What is exciting about this particular screenshot is that it is the very first time we have seen North Vice City beaches from Rockstar. In real life, this would be located at the Hallover Inlet, known for its crazy boating culture and nude beaches. The building behind Jason and Lucia is the Ritz-Carlton in Bal Harbour, and the building to the left is located all the way down on Collins Avenue called the Akoya Condominiums, with the Akoya Beach Club in the foreground. Just to the left of the Akoya condos is the Sherry Frontenac Oceanfront Hotel. Now, according to the GTA 6 mapping project, this is all located just to the southeast of Waning Sands. Now we can take a look at the green car. This is a car we have never seen before in the GTA universe, and it's based on a 1959 Kellison J4 Coupe Experimental, a rare custom-built car. Most of these cars were just bodies sold, and the customer built the rest of the car at their home garage. This shot of a 1973 green Kellison is actually a Pontiac underneath. The tires on the car are a Rockstar parody of the Goodyear GT radial tires, using BJ instead of Goodyear with a callback to the GT radial that was very popular on sports cars starting in the late 70s. We do have another shot of the nose on the car, where we can see the bottom portion of the tire that says race tires. So this tells us that the brand is BJ Race Tires. Now, tire lore from Rockstar games isn't something new, but this time around you can really see the details they have put into the tires, and I find that quite fascinating. You see a R logo on the hood, meaning its brand is separate from the Class A that we can see on the rims. However, the real Kellison cars use Chevrolet parts, and we know that the Class A is Rockstar's version of Chevy, the name meaning low in rank or of inferior status. What is the name of the actual car? That's anyone's guess, as we don't have enough evidence to find that out yet. Next is the 95 Grotti Cheetah parked in front of the Pegassi Residence's South Tower on Tequesta Key, Brickell Key in real life. This car is based on a late 90s Testarossa, more than likely the 512 TR. This tower is based on the Ritz-Carlton Residences located north of Bal Harbour. You can even see the glass railing matches from the street view shot. You can see this building in the Trailer 1 port shot. This building is not normally part of the Miami skyline. We know that there will be two towers, as this black marble sign indicates we are at the South Tower. Looking at the brick on the ground also confirms this location being on Tequesta Key, as it is a common thing found on Brickell IRL. In the landing gear of the 747 shot we saw from Trailer 2, this is the only aerial footage we have looking back at these towers. The crane you see in the shot is also the one that we see in the different position on the night skyline clip from the website. Now, this whole topic was debated pretty hard on the mapping Discord, and I want to give credit to Yanis, Sauko, and Marty for confirming and mapping this out. In the reflection of the grotto's window, you can see the South Tower and the North Tower. With the Pfister building located just to the west of these buildings, Tequesta Key will be based on the automotive residences in Brickell, with the North Tower being based on the Aston Martin residences. In this shot of the interior of the Cheetah, you can see the railing and the surrounding buildings confirming the location of the Pegassi Towers. On the left, you have the Akio, based on the Mandarin Oriental on Brickell Key. In the center, we have the International Online Unlimited logo, a financial company featured in the HD universe of Grand Theft Auto. International Online Unlimited, or IOU, has lore in GTA 4, 5, and now GTA 6. The building itself is based on the Chase Bank building we have seen since Trailer 1. In the middle, we have the Four Seasons, and in front of that is the backside of the Fortune House. Peeking behind the Four Seasons, we can see the grand residential building based on 1 Broadway. 1 Broadway was closed and is currently under heavy renovation today. To the right, we see the backside of the Sahara Amazon parody building based on the Brickell Arch. On the bottom right, we can see a building based on Brickell Key Center. 600 Brickell is in view with the Brickell City Center peeking into view just behind 600 Brickell. Get ready, we're going to be seeing Brickell a lot. Looking at the reflection, we can see some lighting behind the car. The left mirror shows that this is outside, so we can assume the car would be located on the top level at the Pegassi North Tower facing south. In this next shot, we can see the Grotti parked at the Brickell Key Drive roundabout on Brickell Key near the Brickell Key Center. This is looking to the northwest with a clear view of 601 Brickell in the background and the Icon Brickell just behind 601. Now, the speed limit sign in the background has a very distinct shape to it. That was only found on the Brickell Key during the time period Rockstar was scouting locations. As you can see today, the signage is completely different, yet again showing how Miami is always changing. Here's another shot of Jason and Lucia with the Kellison. However, this is located on Catalan Key, Biscayne IRL. In the background, we can see the Four Seasons on the left, 9 at Mary Brickell in the background, Brickell Arch, the Sahara headquarters, the Santander building that has since been demolished, Fortune House, and the Sale on Brickell just behind it. To the bottom right, we have the Bayshore Place condominiums. On the right-hand side, 600 Brickell makes another appearance. Looking at the reflections on the car, it appears we are at some sort of beach parking area similar to Crandon Boulevard in real life, with the Crandon Park Tennis Center just in front of the car. The reflections on the side of the car are interesting, but too blurry to make anything out. Moving on to this shot of the Sirius, again, we can see the tire details up close here. You can even make out 255, 55, R18, 106, 104, tubeless steel belted radial, made in USA, DOT, FL, TA, JMA. Well, you get the picture. The detail is insane. Now, this Sirius is based on the 1970 Mercury Cougar Eliminator. The scene seems to take place in the Rockridge Riverside area, and textures of the buildings look similar to what we saw in the leaks on the Venture Apartments, which would be the Brisas del Rio IRL. Near the hood, you can make out a generator for the apartments. The 1967 Vapid Dominator buggy screenshots are interesting, and there was a lot of back and forth on what this particular tower in the background could be. Either Rockstar completely went creative making a fictional tower, or it is based on the Skyplex roller coaster in Orlando that was never built as it was canceled in 2022. Now, I think it could be a completed version of their fictional Shark Valley observation tower based on the description we see of the garage being located in Watson Bay. But we only saw a lower LOD version from afar on the Watson Bay screenshot. Let me know your theory in the comments below, as it still has not been found to this day. The next shot of the Dominator buggy doesn't give us much due to the fog, but we can tell it is near a road as a billboard is visible in the background. The most interesting part of the screenshot is the windshield wipers. It appears we will have working windshield wipers on our vehicles in GTA 6. Note the mud streaks across the windshield as the wipers spread the mud around. You can see that Jason's shirt seems to be getting wet from the rain and mud as well. Alright, let's check out some screenshots of the Shih Tzu Squallow, as boats are just as important as cars in GTA 6. The boat itself is based on a Bayliner 285 Sierra. You can see the beach towels on the bow, scuba gear at the stern, and even in this screenshot, we can see they are in the same exact spot. We also can see that boat underglow is present from both the Squallow and the VCPD Lure Predator police boat. I love the wake textures that we see here, and on the far right, we see our first look at the VCPD buzzard in the Miami police livery used on their Airbus H120. And the rotor wash texture looks really well done here compared to anything we saw in GTA 5. It is also worth noting that Jason is holding the rifle against his left arm rather than what we saw before on the right. Perhaps this means we can toggle left and right. Hard to say if they meant to glue these items to the boat for screenshots, but I would imagine beach towels and that scuba gear would be at the bottom of Gambit Bay while operating at those speeds. In this shot, we see the speaker detail, the logo of Shih Tzu actually being Shih Tzu, and a seagull joining in on the activity up above. Yeah, this screenshot has me really excited for marine wildlife this time around. I love the attention to detail with the antennas, horn, and radar. On the bow, we can see an anchor, and here's hoping that they will be functioning this time around. On the left, we see Carbonell Brickell, one Miami condominiums east and west, Miami Observation Wheel at Bayside or Bayfront in Lore, Citigroup Center known as Shorefront in Lore, Four Seasons, Southeast Financial Center, Wells Fargo, the Buck Me building based on 100 Biscayne, which is a parody of Venmo/Cash App that we know from the website leak buckme.app, Miami Tower, Loft Downtown 2, Biscayne North Condos, Kaseya Center, Stephen P. Clark Government Center, and Marina Blue. We can see the Joya Beach Restaurant and the Beach Lounge, and just above to the right are the highway signs we saw in Trailer 1. I promise I won't teach you nav lights this time around, but look at how beautiful that Maverick helicopter looks in this shot. Now, let's look at this Rideout custom shop with the Albany Manana as the main star in the shot. I will note, I like how they are leaning into the Cadillac signage on the hubcaps. We know that Rideout Customs is located in the Crosstown area because of the logo we see on the back of this truck in Trailer 1. Now, the building itself seems to be based on the Miami Art mechanic shop near Wynwood Walls, as this was a popular location that Rockstar was scouting at the time. If you look around the time it was scouted, we can see the interior of the building. There's actually two buildings that make up Miami Auto Art, so it's possible they have both of these buildings in the game. In the background, we can see a yellow building behind a chain-linked fence, a crosswalk light indicating this is near an intersection, and a divided road sign. This is Jason's safe house. We know Lucia joins us here at some point, and things look cleaned up since the last time we saw it when Jason was fixing the leaks. You can see the roof is complete and the yard looks a bit different. Now, I've seen the takes on the internet about this being a downgrade from the first trailer, but with it being later in the day, giving it a warm hue, I just don't see it. We also get to see the boat ramp for the first time since the leaks, and this will be great to launch watercraft from. We have a view of the Hamlet Water Tower and a cell phone tower to the northeast. Down below, we get a good glimpse of the Crest Kayak, Dinka Enduro motorcycle, and of course, Jason's now customized Ganado that we'll come back to later on. In the back, we can see a pier where we will be able to dock our boats. Speaking of boats, this is the Crest Kayak we will get with the pre-order bonus, and I'm really excited to have this in the game. Now, can we transport this anywhere else? That remains to be seen. All right, we're kayaking off the west coast of Key Lento, just to the south of our safe house. Behind the Seagull taking flight, we get a view of Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill and Tiki Bar to the left, the Key Lento Marina Club, the 7 Mile Bridge, an unknown boat for water skiing, a small yacht making its way down the channel, with a marquee sailing mast peeking behind it. All right, now let's look at Jason's Vapid Ganado based on a 1971 Ford Ranchero with a badge from the early 60s. This location is a heavily debated topic amongst mappers, but we all agree it's somewhere in the Keys. We see along the road what appears to be timber groins. Now, these are a shoreline structure built out from the beach into the sea to intercept sediment movement and reduce erosion caused by longshore drift. In the reflection of the Ganado, we see a palm tree, a short stubby sign, a road sign that indicates that we're either entering a key or about to leave one. The buoys in the background indicate that there is indeed a channel here. Now, this could be a glimpse at the north shore of Key West. The rocks on the side of the road do look similar to what you would find on the overseas highway. All right, I wanted to show this shot really quick because it's the first time Rockstar showed us the design district in Miami. This sculpture is located at Bulgari behind Jason, and it looks like this in real life. But Rockstar took the creative route. This shot of the Dinka Enduro is really cool because we can see the kickstands in GTA 6 actually holding up the bike, unlike in GTA 5, where they just floated. And based on the reflections, it looks like we're down in the Keys near the safe house where this bike would be located. This shot at Stock 305 shows the new Vapid based on the Ford Transit van again, like we saw in the Vice City screenshot. Electric Fang Tattoo is based off of this building located at 450 Northwest 28th Street in Miami. However, if you set the date around the scouting, we can see the colors that they ended up using. The arcade itself says Deluxe Flux, which was a temporary interactive art installation and pop-up arcade in the Miami Beach area. This was opened by Brooklyn-based art duo Patrick Miller and Patrick McNeil, known as Fail. This was temporary, but it's really neat we will get to see it in GTA 6. The One-Eyed Willie's mod shop didn't give us much of anything to go off of other than throwing in a wrench that there could be a town called Lake Leonida based on the description of its location on Rockstar's website. I am personally not convinced this is the case. We can see this Canis Camacho is sporting a Gloriana license plate, Balder all-terrain tires. The shop itself has a few employees that seem to fit the countryside of Ambrosia vibe, and this flashlight's beam in the dark was pretty cool to see as well. Now, I absolutely love this shot of the good time gear Jason and Lucia are wearing, and it shows that they have a goofy side to their personalities. This character is called Maka the Gator, and he seems to have a purple manatee as his sidekick. The pose is a throwback to the Vice City girl holding a martini glass. However, Maka prefers to have a seagull foot as his garnish instead of an olive. I really look forward to seeing more of this lore. The shot itself seems to be along the Vice City River, as we can see a boat here, and this is likely in the Wagner Creek area of Miami, near the 5th Street Bridge, thanks to Ian on the mapping Discord. Finally, we need to talk about the 1955 Vapid Stanier, and it's based on a 1955 Ford Crown Victoria. We know we'll store it in the Shore Court personal garage near Ocean Beach, and it features a weapon locker and a secure place to deposit stolen goods to be fenced. This shot is just out front of the Boardwalk Hotel on Ocean Drive, and this shot of Jason and Lucia cruising down Shore Drive is just outside of the Ocean View Hotel, as you can see the pink lighting in the reflection. This red car is the Declasse Mamba GT, and its name was first discovered back in the 2022 leaks, where it appeared in the World Events list under an event involving Wyman's classic car collection side mission. The Mamba GT is based on the 1964 to 1965 Shelby Daytona Coupe, with the triple side intakes derived from the 1963 Ferrari 330 LMB. The design is a departure from the Mamba that we saw in GTA 5. I simply cannot wait to turn laps at Port Gellhorn International Raceway with it. Okay, Rockstar threw us a couple new things to chew on this time around, but I'm interested to know what you think of these screenshots we broke down today in the comments below. The investor call is coming this Friday morning, and it's anyone's guess if we'll get anything new before that call. Either way, we only have a few months before we're cruising down the streets of Vice City. Take care.